Okay.
Oh.
Did Maria Teresa come on board?
She has a different meeting ID, so I sent this one to her, but you might like to contact her.
No, but Maria Teresa, you sent an email to her?
I sent this, I just got this one from Melissa, so I've sent her an email, yes.
Okay, so Maria Teresa, can you check your email then? Maybe you...
Hi, Adat, how are you? Adat, we are in the meeting. I sent
Okay.
also via WhatsApp the new link. Okay?
So Maria Teresa is checking her mail right
Do you
now.
want I send you by email if you want?
Yeah.
Yes,
And
you just say you joined. You are green there.
Alma. We have to send something to Alma.
It's okay,
Okay.
Adat. Yes, you wait. I will send you a photo that you are joining. Wait.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, so see, it's here. Adat. Okay, so then I will just okay. So then no. So then see you around. Okay. Bye.
So, Alma should, and Ivona has a role
Rena.
today. Shall I send her also the information, or did she get it?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, also Rena is there. Rena should also get the link because Rena is also attending.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh,
Contact Rina.
mhm.
and also Rena.
I will send a message to Ivona on her WhatsApp.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13.
And I'm sorry, but it so happened that today I will have to leave at 1:25. I cannot stay any longer than that. So, and I was
Alma is
supposed
also
to-
not
I was-
joining.
Yeah, I was supposed to be topic master.
So
Rina.
Umar is
Oh.
not joining, so we have 3 more, no?
No,
and then
just 16 people today because Alma is also our counter, I guess. So she's also should join. But I don't have numbers of all colleagues.
Who else is missing besides Ivona and Alma?
I will
Anna-
send
Anna
them
Paula?
a message.
Ivona, Anna, Alma, and Rina.
Yes.
Alma.
That-
No, Rina. I
Yeah.
already informed Rina.
So yeah. So, but those are the 4 that are missing compared with the list of the one who say yes.
Checking the waiting room, Ihsan, right?
I'm going to also send. Okay, Gordano is also joining. I'm going to send email to Anna Paula because I already spoke with her. I think she cannot join.
Mhm.
But just send official email.
Anna, Alma.
Welcome, Ivona.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Oh,
Good
Ivona's
afternoon.
there. Oh, super. Ivona's there. Wonderful.
Okay,
Okay.
Rena is also here.
Yeah. Or the not.
Alma.
Okay, but then
Then we need
Anna Paula.
Alma.
Rina is here, yes. But Maria Teresa is not yet.
If somebody sent her an email, she said that she was going to look at her emails because she doesn't
Okay,
have
I
a,
will send it
she
now.
doesn't have a cell phone, so I couldn't send her an SMS.
I'm sending an email to her because her email is open in front of me. So
You got it ready. It's,
no, because she sent me email and I wanted to reply to her. I forgot yesterday evening. So that's
Hi, Rena.
So we have two guests. Sunil is one. Who is the second one? Because
Yes.
I see 14 members attending and total attendance 16.
yes.
So who's the second guest?
So I just send the link to Anna Paula
Adot is
also.
not here. Okay, Adot.
yeah. And if Anna is not joining, then we have 2 row missing. One is
She's joining.
Akanta.
She told me because I called her on her extension, and then she
Donna's
told
already
me.
here.
Sila, is your evaluator here? I don't. Who was your evaluator, Sila?
Tatiana.
Diana, she's here, yeah.
Okay. So if in a way, if
Is missing, yeah.
if Sila, you want to give your speech today, we at least we have the evaluator.
Yes.
So we need an R counter.
It's Ana Paula.
Yeah. Akanta and a
Ana.
ballot.
Alma is the R counter.
And Bella's-
Oh,
If she's not joining, then I can be R counter.
Okay, Monica, R counter.
Yes.
the ballot counter is Anna Paula, and she's joining. So I just send the link to her.
Okay. So,
Just Maria Teresa is missing then.
yep.
Yes.
Well, I guess she'll join as soon as she gets the email, I suppose.
Yeah, I send the email also to her.
I sent it as well.
Mhm. Wow, this is like such a supreme crisis management. I mean, it's incredible.
So everybody just be aware when the 40-minute limit is reached, we will be logged out automatically. So keep the link handy and just log straight back in again.
Okay.
And Ehsan, don't forget to go back on record the second time. So
Sure.
and then to send me copies of the recording so I can upload it.
Of course, yeah, sure, I will send it. So Maria Teresa is also on. Okay.
Yeah.
She was in contact with us, so she's ready to join. Oh,
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Adot was the general evaluator. Adot isn't here.
Super. I think we're all set.
We need a general evaluator.
I can be general evaluator.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Is it Monica? So you're our counter and general evaluator.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Monica does everything.
Exactly.
So everyone, fellow Toastmasters, we haven't started yet.
Maria
Not
Teresa,
yet.
welcome. We
We're
are
about to
recording
start.
and you can follow the chaos later. Monica, is
Well, I have to start the meeting. I have to start the meeting. Are we ready to start?
I'm
Yes.
just updating you. Monica is the general evaluator. And
Well, that's not my
Okay.
business. That's the Toastmaster of the day.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so are we all ready to rock and roll? Given the vulnerabilities of technology, we stand at a Toastmaster meeting. And it's my great pleasure, in the absence of Melanie, our president, to welcome you to this Toastmaster meeting. I have some announcements to make. On behalf of the treasurer, I send a message, please, please, please. Those of you who have not yet paid your dues, please do so. We have to submit our dues to Toastmaster International, and that is actually due at the end of this month, that we stay as a club in good standing. So if you haven't yet taken care of your dues, please do so. The second thing is I want to talk about our upcoming meetings. It was decided that we would have 2 meetings a month, our usual second and fourth Tuesday. The first meeting would be in person in 806.
Cannot hear anymore.
Mention is our anniversary. With great pride, I share the fact that this club chartered in October the 1st of 1986. So that makes us 35 years old. We have weathered lots of changes, but we have survived and we will continue to survive. And I thank each and every one of you for your contribution in that respect. I don't see any guests at the moment, but I do see one very special guest. And to those of you who have been in the club longer, he's no stranger. I found out he was in Vienna and I decided I had to invite him to a Toastmaster meeting. After all, once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster. So it is indeed my great privilege and pleasure to welcome a former president and a very active Toastmaster. I give the floor to Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria Teresa, and thank you, everybody. It has been a great honor and a privilege to be back in the VIC Toastmasters Club. This is something that's very close to my heart, and during my tenure as president and also as member, I had great privilege of meeting a number of you, understand each other, learn from you all the time. And some of the successes in my life have only come out of my engagement with Toastmasters Club. I can absolutely confirm that. I also can say that so much of our success in our lives, personal and professional, depends on how people feel around us about themselves in your presence, in our presence. And by virtue of Toastmaster and the coaching we get, we can hone and apply those skills. For instance, do they feel comfortable around us when we are talking? Do they feel confused sometimes with our ideas? Are they comfortable disagreeing with us on some of our ideas? Do we, by virtue of our being in Toastmaster Club, empower them in various ways? And do you see themselves as someone that we can learn from, especially in an international organization like ours? And the good news is that Toastmaster Clubs gives us that immense opportunity to not only be part of it, but see ourselves growing each and every day, every time we participate. So participation is like a therapy in Toastmasters Club. I can only assure you, every time you come in, you only take something back and you are a better communicator. So let us harness this energy, this enthusiasm that every one of you bring in and make our engagement, our communication skills, a motivation for ourselves and for others as well. Thank you so much. I may have to leave because my phone has been ringing and there's an urgent call that's waiting for me, but I will be back and I will continue to be an active member of the club. Thank you and best wishes.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sunil. We will take you up on that offer to come back. And so I see a couple of other people have wandered in. There was a bit of confusion about the Zoom link, but our numbers are swelling. So is there anything else I wanted to mention? No. So now it's time for me to turn over the business section to the actual Toastmaster meeting. And we're very lucky today to have a very experienced Toastmaster. You might think she's new because she's new to our club, but she's definitely not new to Toastmasters. So it is great to have somebody who knows what they're doing and who will be leading us through this particular Toastmaster meeting. I give the floor to Toastmaster Ivana.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, distinguished Toastmasters. I'm very happy to be your Toastmaster of the day today. And first, I would like to make some comments on logistics. So I would like to ask everybody who has a formal role at the meeting to rename yourself, that we know who is doing what. Like you see on my picture, I put the letters TMOD, that means Toastmaster of the Day, and then you see my name. Then, if you can mute yourself when you are not speaking, it will help us to reduce the background noise that we experienced a few minutes ago. But anyways, even if there is this background noise, you know, only concentration helps to continue talking or watching the other speakers. I put the meeting's agenda in the chat. I believe if somebody joined a little bit later, maybe doesn't see this link, so I will paste it once more, that you have access to the agenda. And I'm not sure if we have guests today or not, but I would like to explain a little bit the format of the standard meeting of Toastmasters. So we are a part of a huge organization that has almost 100 years of tradition. Actually, the first club was founded in 1924 in October, on October 24th. And right now, the clubs are created and continue growing. On all continents, there are thousands of clubs. As you know, the main language that we use at Toastmasters is English, but there are clubs that communicate in other languages. I know that some members from our club are joining clubs that communicate in Spanish, French, and German. The main source of information for each member and for each club is Toastmasters international webpage, and the address is toastmasters.org. And the organization offers us educational program called Pathways. All details are recorded on the webpage I already mentioned. And it offers us years of experience and the very structured format of the meeting. If you visit a club on any continent, in any country, the format looks same. And we will follow it as well today. So we will have 3 parts of the meeting. The first part is prepared speeches. For this, speakers use Pathways that I already mentioned, the educational program. It contains 11 paths, and for each path, there is a tutorial, like e-learning tutorial, that gives you a lot of instructions that help you to prepare the speech and move from one level to another. Each path is based on 5 levels. On the 5th level, you are professional in whatever area of expertise you choose. And these paths have a very nice titles, like, for example, leadership development or presentation mastery or innovative planning. Then the second part of our meeting will be impromptu speeches. These are the speeches that help us to train in spontaneous speaking. And these are short answers to a questions by table topic master that should not exceed 2 minutes. And the third part of the meeting is evaluations of prepared speeches first, and then evaluation of the meeting. To give you some more information about the third part, I would like to invite our general evaluator to introduce the team, because there is a group of people who are actively participating in the meeting, but also observing and reporting at the end on quality of our performance and help us to learn what we can improve in the future. So please help me welcome our general evaluator, Monica.
Giving constructive feedback is one of the key elements of every Toastmaster meeting. So my role today is to observe the meeting, the conduct of the meeting, at the end of the meeting, provide a report on that. I'm not doing this alone, as Ivona just mentioned. I have a team who will assist me in doing that. But first of all, I would like to introduce you our first evaluator, who is going to be Tatiana. She's going to be evaluating our first speaker. Before the speaker speaks, Tatiana will be asked to read the objectives of the meeting. Sorry to interrupt, but I think I'm hearing some noises, some people talking in the background. Don't know what's going on. Yeah, I would appreciate if, as Ivona said, everybody not speaking could turn off the microphone. That would be very helpful. So as I said, I have a team assisting me. So I would like you to introduce now my team. We have a Mr. Timekeeper today, who is Esan. Esan, could you please briefly explain your role? Esan, it seems that you're muted. We cannot hear you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Today I'm a timekeeper and I'm going to make a report at the end of the session. For the speech, I'm going to keep a time on 7, 6, and 5 minutes. And for the table topics, it's between 2 minutes and 1 minute. So I give back floor to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Esan. We have a grammarian, and our grammarian today is Toastmaster Ines. Could you please briefly explain your role?
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. My role as a grammarian is to focus on the use of the English language. I will look at the expressions used, the creative use of the English language, and I will also watch who could be given the grammarian crown today. I have a word of the day, and that is vulnerability. It's a noun. Being vulnerable means willingness to show emotions or weaknesses, openness to be attacked or even to be hurt. And it is a word which is very often used in the ecology and biology, but we have it all in our daily lives. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
We have also an R counter, and this R counter is going to be today Toastmasters Alma. Can you please explain your role?
Don't hear you.
Alma, we don't hear you. I think you have your phone, your microphone turned off. We still don't hear you. No, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm sorry, it doesn't. Alma's phone microphone doesn't seem to be working, but Alma is going to be counting the ballots of voting for the best table topic masters today. I think I have our ballot. No, pardon. Yes, you are right. It was my mistake. Thank you, Ana Paula, for pointing it out. Actually, Alma is going to be counting our ums and ahs and all these words that don't really fit into our speeches. And at the end of the meeting, she's going to tell us who used the most ums and interruptions during our speeches.
Do you hear me now?
Now we hear you, Alma. Perfect.
I'm
You still want to say something?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and that I'm happy to be a counter today. This is my first role since I recently joined the club, and I will be counting, as you rightly mentioned now, I will be counting all the fillers of the speakers, and and I will try to do the report at the end and report on how many times speakers said these fillers. Thank you.
Now you're mute, Monica.
Thank you, Ana Paula. So now we finally come to you, Ana Paula. Can you please briefly explain your role?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I took the role of ballot counter. So the only thing that it does, that I do, and so it's a small role in the whole process. There will be table topics presented by Nicole. And after the presentation, people will vote which person performed best in the table topics. I believe, so somebody interrupt me if I'm not doing this correctly, because I think it's my first ballot counter role on Zoom. Please vote by sending me a personal message. I am ballot counter Ana Paula Nishio de Souza, and I will tally the votes and announce the winner. So I hope that everybody can see that there is a choice to send a message to just one person in Zoom. So just send it to me and I will tally. If you send to everybody, I will also tally, but maybe you don't want your vote to be known by everybody. So, and that will be my role. Thank you very much.
Perfect. So this is my team today. And now we are going back to the second part of the meeting announced by Ivona, who is the part of the prepared speeches. And I would like to give the word now to our Toastmasters of the day.
Excuse me, I have a point of order.
Go ahead, please.
For the Toastmaster of the day, unfortunately today I will have to leave at the latest at 1:25, even before that if I could. So I'm the table topic master, but I'm not sure I can do that today since it'll be a very...
I would propose to change a little bit the agenda and start with table topics then. This will give us enough time.
Good idea.
Yeah. So first, thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for introducing your team. Thank you to whole team for telling us what are your tasks today. And without much more delay, we proceed to the table topics, and floor is yours, Nicole.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Well, a few days ago, I received a message telling me that there was not going to be any speech today because there was nobody who had volunteered. So Maria Teresa asked me to have a longer topic session. Fortunately, Scylla did come forward, so we have a topic, but I then had decided to change my ideas. I'm not sure you're going to like it, but don't panic. It's not going to be that difficult. The only thing I will tell you is to take advantage of the 10 seconds that you have before you answer the question so that you can think about what you're going to say. Because today I decided that I was going to concentrate, in fact, on Toastmasters. And since most of us have a role, unfortunately for you, I'm going to ask questions to people who already have a role. I'm going to start with somebody who is very experienced. I'm going to start with Lily. Lily, one of the mottos, if not the main motto of Toastmasters is where leaders are made. What do you think about that motto? Do you agree? And if you do, how does Toastmaster make the leaders, and particularly the leaders of tomorrow?
Leaders of tomorrow. I'm a leader of today because I'm a Toastmaster of yesterday. But I really believe that. Toastmasters where leaders are made. I absolutely underline this motto. Learning by doing has been a motto of mine, especially when I led the club in 2012 and 2019 or 16, whenever the second term was, I don't remember now. In Toastmasters, we encourage one another. We are a peer-based organization where we give feedback to one another, and we provide a safe environment for practicing, for learning, for doing, and learning by doing. So when we get out of our comfort zone and tackle something that we may be unfamiliar with, that we may be doing for the first time, as some of us are doing today, we can overcome our fear and be encouraged to just take a step into the unknown. And that's what makes a leader. Leaders are the ones that take the role that others follow. No leader without a follower. So in order to be a good leader, you need to first be a good follower. So it helps if you find somebody that you like to follow, find a good leader and follow them. And when you have really become a good leader and learnt many of the practices that a good leader practices, like encouraging and praising and recognizing and emphasizing the good things that you do, then you can become a leader yourself. And I absolutely do believe that Toastmasters is the place where leaders are made. Look at you all. Look at us all. We're the leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you, Lily, for your inspiring answer. And you said that you're a leader, but there are some people in the club that are beginning or not so experienced as you are. And if Alma, if your microphone is working, the next question might be for you. The executive committee is always encouraging people to take a mentor because mentoring is an important function. If you wish you had a mentor, what is it that you expect yourself from a mentor?
Thank you, Madam Topics Master, Nicole. Do you hear me? Just to confirm? Perfect. Okay. That is an excellent question, and I'm actually now in the process of looking for a mentor in the Toastmaster, my Toastmaster journey. And what I'm looking from the mentor is actually to guide me through my journey. I know majority of tasks is with me, basically to follow the pathways and to explore by myself the topics, to try to improve my speaking skills and public speaking and communication. But still, from the mentor, I would expect that the honest feedback, how I sometimes say tough love. So basically to be very honest and in order for me to improve, because if I have a mentor who just says all the time, oh, all is great, and I know myself that actually it's not, then, you know, so this is the number one I would look from the mentor, is basically honesty, feedback and guidance to help me in my path. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma. So you see, if somebody wants to be Alma's mentor, well, she would like to have one, so you can volunteer.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Thanks.
Now, my next question goes again to an experienced Toastmaster, and that is to Monica. Oh, yeah, Monica has many roles. Maybe to Ines. I'm going to ask Ines that one. Ines, what did Toastmaster bring you over the years, since you've been a Toastmaster for a long time? But what also didn't it bring you, or wish had brought you and didn't?
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I see that we have a guest. We have two guests, Eva and Linares. What did Toastmasters bring to me? I think that Toastmasters helped me to have a clearer mind on many issues. Also issues related to leadership, to communication, to be creative, and to share experiences and to discuss issues which are important to me and which I have seen are also important to others. What Toastmasters
And okay, recording in progress. Okay. I was going to ask Eshan, as a matter of fact, and don't worry, I'm going to time you. Eshan, last year we had a workshop on how to present an activity in 7 minutes in a logical, convincing, and clear manner. That was the aim of the workshop, and it was quite well attended. We would like to organize another workshop next year in 2022. What theme would you like us to choose, or what themes might be of interest to you in a workshop, a similar workshop?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So first, I just start my timing. So the thing is, from my point of view, for the team for organizing ourselves as a workshop, so I think the priority is time management, which personally I have a problem with that. And I think I can gain with the time management. And the second thing is to make a priority on the tasks. For example, now I was reading an article this morning about how we can gain of just doing 2 tasks per day. Just easily, we do 2 tasks and not focusing to another task. So these kind of, I think, practices or tools will help me to boost my, let's say, self-organizing in my job or in my private life. So, and yeah, so I give the floor back to you.
Thank you, Ishan. Well, thank you for your suggestion, and I take this opportunity to ask everybody, if you have an idea of what you would like us to train you in, or what, to have a common training, like for instance, also evaluation, which could be something we want to practice. Don't hesitate to write an email to Maria Teresa, to Melanie, who is the president, or to the ExCom in general, so that we can see what we can do and how we can organize a workshop between us, or if we bring in a trainer. I think that since we started late, I'm going to stop here with the table topics. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you again questions and who answered them. So the first one was Lily, and I asked Lily about the motto where leaders are made. My second question went to Alma about mentoring and what she expects from a mentor. My third question, and sorry, Ines, you were cut off, was what did the Toastmaster bring you and what it didn't? And the last question was to Eshan about what kind of workshop you would like to have the next year, for instance. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Let's give a big round of applause to our Madam Topics Master and all participants of the session. And without further ado, let's proceed with the prepared speeches. We have one today. The speaker is Sila, our seasoned speaker. The title of her speech, We Can Only Get Better, and we all hope for this. This is not a part of the title. The speech comes from a path called Team Collaboration, Connect with Your Audience. And the goal of her speech is the purpose of this project is to practice skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Please help me welcome our speaker, Celia.
Hi, thanks, Ivona. Should I start now or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't sure about this because I thought that maybe my evaluator would need to say something. Sorry. So yes.
Sorry, I agree actually. I think the evaluator has to read first out the objectives of the speech.
I think our distinguished Toastmaster of the day has already done it. That's why I'm not stepping in.
I'm sorry, there is different formats at different clubs. Maybe I should have familiarized myself better with what is more common for this club. But yeah, the objective of the speech is, as I mentioned, for Celia to practice her skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Celia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. How are you doing? I'm really happy to see you all online, and I hope that all is well on your side. Guess why I'm so excited to see you all online? Because this is pretty much my only option now. In order to come back to attend my brother's wedding in Hong Kong, which is scheduled on the 10th of October, I have to fly back to the city more than 2 weeks ahead of time. Yes, I need to come back way before the wedding because of a 14-day of quarantine requirement in a hotel room. Can I have a show of a hand, like how many of you have done that, to be locked up in a hotel room for 2 weeks? If you can, like, use the show up, the showing hands button in the Zoom. The current quarantine policy in Hong Kong requires you to stay in a hotel room for 7, 14, or 21 days, depending on where you are flying from. Only residents can come back, but irrespective of whether you have been vaccinated or not. How does that sound to you? Being locked up in a hotel room of, like, in my case, this is about less than 20 square meters. And yet you have to pay a fortune for it. I pay almost like close to $1,000 for this. If this doesn't sound crazy enough, it's actually my second time of doing it. Last year, when I want to come back to visit my parents during the Christmas holidays, I had to do the same. If this is hard to imagine, just think about the case when you are actually being locked up in your office inside the VIC. As I can see, most of you now are back to the office. And it's, in a sense, it's similar to being locked up in the VIC because I also opened the window in my hotel room. But maybe there is a side effect of the upcoming wedding. This second time of the quarantine, I actually felt pretty all right about it so far. As I felt like there has been so much learning from my first experience last year, so much that I can now apply to the second prison term. What's more, I'm hoping that today my sharing can also help you to enjoy your free life in Vienna. Looking back, my first quarantine experience somehow gave me this sense of being locked up in a prison. It's not just in the physical sense. I think the most important point is more about the mental state. The feeling of isolation and being trapped. And mind you, my prison, which is a hotel room, is actually way better than most prisons. But the lack of social interaction and the stimulus just really gives you the sense of isolation very strong. And that's why the second week I almost went nuts. So my first tip is to stay connected. So this time I stay connected with my family, my friends, my colleagues, the Toastmaster group. And thank God we have the online meeting because this is my only way of attending a meeting this time. So while most of us are used to all these online meetings now, and some of us might be fed up with it, I want you to remember actually there is still a considerable number of people in the world whom can only get connected online for various reasons. Yes, I agree. In-person interaction is way better than online. But for some, meeting online is their only way to see some human beings. So for those of you who might need to be locked up, which I hope not, I would definitely recommend you to stay connected. And for those of you who might have colleagues or friends who are being locked up, I would also encourage you to send them a message, give them a ring, schedule a call with them. Small act of kindness can mean a lot. And second tip that I want to share is to find your tempo and routine. Because right now I'm actually working from Hong Kong, but following the Vienna clock. So morning time becomes my free time now. Every morning I got up and do some exercise, read the newspapers, do some personal errands. And then I started working from around 2 in the afternoon until 11 p.m. I make sure that I have 2 hours of breaks between so that I can get up and do some exercise and walk around in my room. But this time I actually got something different. I got myself a yoga ball, you know, what they call also a mobility ball, whereby actually I can stretch myself and relax a bit after being in the chair for the whole day. This is definitely something I would recommend all of you to do for the office or at home. And so setting the routine actually gives me a clear flame I can follow every day, and it doesn't feel so daunting. But third, apart from setting a routine, I like to jazz it up a bit with surprise every day. So having a clear structure helps to set my mind, but giving myself different tasks and goals every day and rewarding myself with different treats afterwards also makes it a little bit different. And that small difference every day can carry us far. So today, after giving you the speech during the Toastmasters meeting, I'm going to give myself a treat by having some delicious homemade soup that was delivered by my dad. So small things, but those are the things that made my day. And by the way, today is day 6 out of 14 days of quarantine. So what are you going to do to make each of your days special day, now that you have much less restrictions in Vienna? I hope that some of the tips that I offer, stay connected, find your routine, and jazz it up with surprise every day, can give you some inspiration. With all the learning and sharing, I truly believe we can only get better. Back to you, Toastmaster.
What a great message to stay connected whatever are our circumstances. Thank you, Sila. And we cross our fingers that you go without any boredom and tiredness through all 14 days. Now we will have 1 minute for your comments that you can send via private chat to Sia. And afterwards, we will hear the formal evaluation. One minute is over, and this concludes the part of prepared speeches for today's meeting, and we move to the evaluation part. I would like to ask again General Evaluator to introduce evaluators and evaluator of the speech, and later to deliver reports by your team. Thank you.
Now the evaluation part of the meeting will start, the gift part where we receive our feedback. So I will like to call upon my team members to present their report, and I will start with the evaluator of the first speaker, Toastmaster Tatiana, who will give us the evaluation for Toastmasters Chile.
Thank you very much, dear fellow Toastmasters, dear colleagues. The speech today was delivered exactly on the topic we could not have been less familiar with, but not from that angle yet, especially if we speak about the need to isolate and to still survive it without too many deficiencies or challenges. I would like to congratulate Tila that she not only was able to go into the topic with a high level of energy and interest, which was brought to the audience, but she also managed to connect the presentation to our everyday needs and the times we are living through. And if we speak about the connection with the audience and the reaction, I would say that Lily's reaction, crying at some point, or maybe just having her eyes drying, right, was exactly the best point to show that you did manage to connect with us. You did manage to put us into the mode, especially using the words like prison. And you did it several times, maybe a bit overdoing it because we are all vulnerable, and we need to think about this perspective with less attachment and engagement. And we do know you, so we might be more exposed to your emotions, but you did manage to put us into that mood of the topic of your speech. Speaking about the little deficiencies you asked me to touch upon in my evaluation, I would like to mention that although you did mention the tips you are going to give us, and you did give us 3 tips, which is classics of tips giving, so to say, you connected those tips and framed them only at the end. So we did not, at least in my case, I did not manage to grasp what were the explanations on each and every one of those. At the end, I put the list that you were speaking about, being connected with your family and friends, with colleagues, being having a routine and jazzing up. But the explanation was given upfront, so it kind of disconnected a little bit at the end. Although you did inspire us to put down that list, at least in my case. And thank you for giving us the tips and general observations, speaking about kindness and inspiring us to connect with our colleagues or with people who might not be able to see or visit their friends or family for different reasons, not only pandemic that you have now. Thank you very much. And that's it for my speech. I would like to give the floor to the General Evaluator. Back.
Thank you, Tatiana. I would like to continue with our second team member. That would be our timekeeper. Could you please give us your report, Essen?
Thank you, Monica, Madam Toastmaster. The report today is a bit short, but I will start from the table topics. Lily presented the table topic for 1 minute 50 seconds, Alma for 1 minute 28 seconds, Ines 59 seconds, which the connection was lost, and then we reconnected. So Ehsan also presented for 58 seconds. The speech was also for duration of 6 minutes 49 seconds by Sila. And I give back the floor to the Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. Timekeeper. Now I would like to continue with our grammarian, Toastmaster Ines. Could you please give us your report also on the word of the use of the word of the day?
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I have not heard once the use of the word vulnerability or being vulnerable. I think we're all today quite vulnerable with the start of the meeting and a couple of other hiccups, of course. We did well. As a grammarian, I looked up or focused more on the use of the English language, and it was perfect. Awesome. Congratulations. I would say to Tatiana, I'll give a suggestion to Tatiana, and at the end when she said, and I think we have it also, and we are giving control of the meeting back to the person instead of using the expression, I'm giving the floor, it's very Yuanese actually. We have been using the expression of, we are handing over control of the meeting to the Toastmaster of the day or whoever has control of the meeting at that time. The grammarian crown is today given from my side to Sila, where she, in her formulation, she had something like call for an act of kindness. And I think that's important. Also, especially within the context of her speech. And I'm handing over control of the meeting back to Monica, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you to our grammarian. Now I'd like to call our accounter to please give us her report. Toastmaster Alma.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. My report today, I would like to start with Ivona, who had 11 A's, Monica had 3, Nicole 5, Lily only 1. After Lily, I was the one presenting on table topics, so I could not count my own, but as far as I was aware of them, I think I had maybe 4 or 5, but you will maybe know better. Ines, I didn't count, not even 1. Ehsan, I counted 7. Sila, only 2, and I really want to congratulate her on excellent speech. And Tatiana, actually now when she was delivering evaluation, I counted 12. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Accounter. Now I would like to call our ballot counter. I hope that everybody provided the ballot, the vote for the best table topic speaker. Madam ballot counter, can you please give us your report and announce who is the winner of the table topic session?
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. I received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I received 8 votes, so I suspect that somebody didn't vote, that a couple of people didn't vote. But in any case, we have a clear winner. The winner of the table topics today is Lily. Congratulations, Lily.
Thank you, Madam Ballot Counter, and congratulations to Lily. Now I would like to give you my report going to be a very short one to keep it, to not extend the meeting for too long. We had some technical issues at the beginning, and unfortunately we started our meeting late, like more or less half an hour late. But okay, thanks to Essen, we managed to get the meeting ID and to start a meeting finally. I found it a little bit disturbing that a phone was ringing all the time, and especially at the beginning while Sunil was talking, I think this was interfering and not very polite to the speaker. I like the instructions given by our Toastmaster of today, Ivona, and she suggested to put our names, to put our role actually next to the name on the screen. And she gave other instructions that I found very, very useful and very practical. I liked also the way that she spontaneously decided to change the order of the meeting to first include or first present the table topics and then the speaker. I think this is one of our strong points in our meetings, that we are very, very flexible, and we, even if we sometimes have some technical problems or different kind of problems, but we always quickly find a solution. There was a little bit of a confusion about reading out the objective of the speaker. Usually in our club, we do it this way, that the evaluator reads out the objective of the speaker. I think in other clubs, there are different practices. This is the way we have been doing it. Of course, we can change. We are always flexible. We can always adapt. I think the most important thing is just to read out the objective. All in all, I think it was a great meeting. We covered all the topics, and even though we didn't have a speaker at the beginning, it was a great speech given by Zilla, and I think we all were very, very engaged, and the atmosphere of the meeting was very nice. Thank you, and back to you, our Toastmaster of today.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you. I just want to say that I enjoyed very much my role today. I'm happy that the meeting happened, that we solved the problem quickly and reconnected as well. So we had a meeting of 2 parts. It went smoothly. And I want to encourage everybody to register for roles for the next meeting. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. And over to you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ivana. We made it happen. We were vulnerable, but we made it happen. And I would like first to acknowledge the presence of Anna Paolo, who after a long absence has reappeared again. It's great to see you. And we also had 2 guests. Now, one of them, Eva, has disappeared in the meantime, but I do see Lucia on the screen. It doesn't have to be lengthy, but could you maybe share your impressions of this meeting with us, Lucia?
Yes, hi, thanks for inviting me as a guest to this meeting. I'm completely new to Toastmasters, so I didn't know what to expect. But what I quite liked is kind of how structured everything is, and the clear way that was kind of communicated as well. So yeah, I look forward to potentially attending another one and learning more about the club.
Thank you for that. I'll make sure to invite you to our next meeting. Again, thanks to everybody who stepped in at the last minute. And to Sela, you delivered a speech long distance. On Friday afternoon, we had no speakers. You saved the day and you gave us a brilliant presentation. So let me pick up on something that Nicole mentioned, having a workshop on topics you might like to see presented in Toastmasters. I take it one step further. Maybe one of you would like to lead one of those workshops. You don't have to be a listener. You don't have to be a follower. You can be a doer. So I suggest if anybody is interested in leading a workshop, get in touch with me and we'll try to see what we can put together. Other than that, I look very much forward to our next in-person meeting where we won't have all of these unpleasantries. I mean, we got beyond it. And I also would like to encourage perhaps the Zoom master to indicate yourself on the agenda, that we know who we should be sending emails frantically to when we can't get into the meeting. Other than that, I thank you and see you all hopefully on the 12th of October in A0671. With that, I adjourn this Toastmaster meeting and wish you well. Fellow Toastmasters, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.